Okay, it's Geo-Rant time. It is March 19th, 2017, the day before spring. It is 15:19 is the time. Oh no, not 15:19. Derp to derp. 19:19 is the time. Wow, I really messed that up. Long hike. It's 49 degrees Fahrenheit. What we did today is we went and hiked Baraboo, Devil's Lake. Devil's Lake is this isolated lake surrounded by quartzite bluffs. The whole trip up each bluff, down and back up, down, back up and down is 5.5 miles. But the interesting thing about the Baraboo Formation or the Baraboo quartzite in that area is the quartzite is what we call syncline. It's a closed syncline, so the beds were deposited flat as sandstone, and later in a mountain building event deformed into a kind of like a deformed spoon shape, and actually one side's nearly vertical, the south side's about 30 degrees dip. But it's interesting for geologic history too, because it's where a lot of modern geology was figured out. Matter of fact, there's a rock in Rock Springs called Van Hise Rock, which is attributed to Van Hise. He was president of University of Wisconsin. But modern structural geology, if you're in the Midwest and you're studying geology and you take structure class, you're going to go to this area. Everybody does. It's also a good place for other things, sedimentary geology. But that was the first place where we figured out how to interpret. And this is pre-plate tectonics. We didn't figure out how mountains, we still didn't know how mountains formed, but this helped us figure out how to interpret large-scale structures that weren't visible all over the entire surface by using smaller scale structures. So structural geology, a lot of the principles we use are figured out in Wisconsin. They weren't figured out in California or Alaska or China or someplace or the Himalayas, someplace with huge mountains. Figured out in the middle. They were figured out in the Midwest, where there's not a lot of, well, there's no mountains technically. There were about 1.5 billion years ago, but not anymore. And that syncline, the Baraboo syncline, that bowl shape, is a remnant of that. But the quartzite was originally deposited as a sandstone, and it blanketed a vast area. We believe a lot of other quartzites in the Midwest are correlative, meaning they're the same age as the Baraboo. They're purple in color like the Baraboo. You got the Sioux quartzite. You got different isolated quartzites in Wisconsin. That this might have been just one large sheet of sandstone, and then it got buried. Some shales, banded iron formation was put on top of it, and then the mountain building event occurred. It's a great place to visit. It's a great place to hike. And afterwards, where do we go?
Pizza Ranch!
Yeah, you gotta have that Pizza Ranch. It was really good after a 5.5 mile hike around Devil's Lake. Devil's Lake is an interesting thing. It's isolated. It has no outlet. There's 2 inlets. It's in between 2 quartzite bluffs that cut through, like one limb of the syncline cuts through like that way. So its presence, a lot of people think it might have been the old Baraboo River channel, but we don't really know. It's in what we call the driftless area. That means glaciers never made it that far. There are places in the Midwest where the glaciers didn't reach, but they went further south. The area forms basically a triangle from northwestern Illinois, following the Mississippi River up to about 1/3 of the way up to Wisconsin, coming across the Baraboo area and coming back down. Glaciers never touched that. But another interesting thing is that these quartzites are Precambrian, and after the mountain folding event, erosion occurred. But during the Cambrian, about 500 million years ago, a little more, maybe about 520 to 530 million years ago, these remnants, they didn't look much different than they do now. The topography didn't look much different, but they stood as islands. And in the Cambrian seas. Granted, it's landlocked now, but we know this because the Cambrian sandstones near the Baraboo quartzite have big, huge quartzite boulders in them. I'm just doing this, but some of them are literally like 20 feet across. And as you get further from the quartzite, they become smaller and smaller pebbles until you get far enough away and there's no more quartzite pebbles in them. Like Parfrey's Glen, which isn't that far from Devil's Lake, it is layers of it. It'll be purple conglomerate in sandstone, and then sandstone, purple conglomerate, sandstone. It just does this because it was near the flanks of one of those islands. But anyway, that's just my rant, and I hope you learned something.